you guys need to come to Palm Beach County and take a page out of our solid waste process.
I've heard it's the bee's knees.
It's
Oh
the
my God,
bee's
it's
knees.
stunning.
It's amazing.
It's stunning. It's absolutely
I've never
stunning.
been so excited about garbage in my entire life.
I have a really
Me
random,
too.
useless fact about landfills. I was one of the few people in the country that knew how to depreciate the airspace above landfills.
What
Because
does that mean?
So you think about it, like with a landfill, they build up.
Yeah.
So that space above the landfill is depreciable property that they can expense over time because they're going to fill it with garbage.
Okay.
And so you figure out what that amount of space is, and then you depreciate. It was this crazy formula. Republic Services, which was kind of a...
You're such a nerd, Abby.
This was my first year in public accounting. I worked on Republic Service. It was an 1,800-page consolidated tax return.
Oh my gosh.
This was before e-file was a thing. It was like right before e-file came into vogue. But I was one of the few people in the country that learned how to depreciate the airspace above landfills.
Can you put that on your resume?
I don't know. I rolled off that engagement after 1 year, so
It doesn't matter. You know how to do it.
Do you know how high above sea level the landfills can go?
no.
Do you?
164 feet, I believe.
Ooh, that's tall.
It's like
Yeah.
13
That's why we
stories.
call them Mount Trashmores.
I mean,
Right.
Coconut Creek, Monarch Hill. They give it such a pretty name.
it's so pretty.
It's got to be
Mount
getting close to
Trashmore.
that
Mount Trashmore.
because it is. I mean, I've been looking at that landfill like my whole life.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's the way I always go. But we would always like, Mom, there's mountains here. She's like, no, that's not a mountain, guys.
Well, they turned the landfill down in like West Davie into a park, Vista View Park.
Ew.
It's built on top of a landfill.
I know there's golf courses built on top
Yeah,
of landfills.
park. It was a Park View or something like that in Lantana. Used to be a landfill.
Yes. Yep.
But it's so interesting. Like, you usually think of landfills like, like your garbage just gets dumped in a landfill. And
Just
I
like
did-
rotting diapers and like.
Yeah. And it's like, I
always
not-
thought that.
I always thought that too. I had no idea. Like,
It used to be that way.
of course, yes, it used to be that way. But it's like they actually burn it and turn it into ash. and so then that's
They
ash.
shut our incinerator down in Broward.
You don't incinerate your garbage?
Not
What do you do
anymore.
with it?
That's why Monarch Hill's such a boondoggle because there was an incinerator there and they shut it down.
See, again, they need to. Okay, so just for the record, for those who don't know, Palm Beach County has a solid waste authority. It operates all of the garbage in Palm Beach County. Everything. Cities, everybody. And we burn it. And it looks like the fires of hell. It does.
It feels like it too.
It does
It
feel
does.
like it.
It does. It is like the coolest thing
It's the
ever.
coolest
It's
thing.
so cool. It's like this giant claw comes
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Oh, the claws. The
Yes.
claws.
Yeah. It's like it's
The
like
claw.
it's like those those toys that
I was explaining this to my
Yeah.
kids, and they're like, I could just see their little minds going.
And each claw fits the equivalent of trash for a family of 4 for 2.5 years.
Holy moly.
Each
They said that if
claw-
it's on the ground, you can walk under the claw thing.
It's 13 feet high.
Yeah.
It's 13 feet high.
So the claw picks up the garbage and it moves it into the incinerator and it pushes
You
down
guys
to
did the tour?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Waste Management has been at the last 2 Lighthouse Point Commission meetings, and I really want to take the tour of
So
their
Waste
facilities.
Management is the Broward.
They have
or-
the contract.
That's what. Oh, okay.
They have the contract with the county.
Okay.
Yeah, and the county is in the process of forming like a interlocal authority
Mm-hmm.
amongst all the cities, like a governing board for. It's for solid waste, but I don't know if they're going to be the ones like kind of like keeping Waste Management, the liaison, keeping them in check, whatever you want to call it. It's interesting because it was brought up at the Lighthouse Point meeting the other night. 28 of the 31 counties have signed on
Mm-hmm.
to the board and appointed someone to be their, one commissioner or council member to be their liaison or whatever.
Representative.
Hallandale Beach
Yeah.
said no.
What are they gonna do with
Pompano
their
Beach,
trash?
I have no idea. They're a bunch of condos. Pompano
but they
Beach,
still have trash.
Pompano Beach voted not to vote, and then Pembroke Pines, a whole bunch of residents showed up at the meeting last night, and they actually voted no as well. So, but they were talking about putting the incinerator in Pembroke Pines, and so they were pissed about getting it.
So if they come to Palm Beach County, they can see that our incinerator is up against like a country club.
Really,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And they
Yeah,
all have
how
a
does-
great relationship.
really,
Yes.
It
And
is-
it's surrounded by wetlands and like preserve.
and for
Where is
trash.
it?
it's the cleanest thing. It's like it's so clean.
It's so clean.
It's so
The
clean.
environmentalists, like the climate change activists,
No,
don't
they
get
hate
pissed? Okay, I was gonna
No,
say.
they hate it. But so the guy at the Dan at the Solid Waste Authority, he said, Dan Pellets, he said that the reason that they get so upset about it is because in their minds, when they hear burning trash, they think of like in the 50s when people would throw stuff in a big barrel and just light it on fire. But that's not what we're doing. And the
Right.
emissions of this are like, there's no emissions.
Yeah.
Right.
Side note,
It
my-
actually creates energy.
It does create energy. Oh, okay. Sorry. Side note. And then I'm going to say what it does to
Yeah,
create
just
the
talking,
energy.
Talking about the burning the trash. Side note, my late uncle, when he managed our store outside of Tallahassee, he always bragged about having the cheapest garbage bill in the company because he literally would put it in a barrel and burn it.
Just whoosh. I feel like that'd be mildly therapeutic.
Right?
Okay, so this is what they do to create energy. So the trash goes through the incinerator, and they take the ash. The ash goes to the landfill. In the landfill, it starts to make methane.
Oh, yes.
Methane. So then they take the methane gas and they pipe it into the solid waste sludge department. So the liquid sludge. So
Which is
sewage.
people sludge.
People sludge.
The people sludge. They use the methane to process and burn off all of the impurities in the people sludge. And then that gets turned into fertilizer pellets.
It's like the coolest thing.
We have no waste in Palm Beach County.
So Palm Beach County is the number one facility for recycling in the state. The number one.
But recycling is different from
It is different.
incinerating.
Yes.
But
So-
incinerating is top in North America.